the opportunity to play at 110% is going to crank it up to 120 today.
Yeah, I mean, if you tuned in yesterday, watching some of these players do their thing really hit the new heights that we weren't necessarily expecting, especially with a lot of these teams just kind of coming together for the first time, really experimenting with what is going to work. And I think that the Dust did an excellent job at highlighting just, figuring things out. And really, at this point, it's very clear to me, with the exception of Poppin, of course, but a lot of these roles feel very solidified between these two teams, with Poppin just kind of stepping in and doing whatever the heck he wants. But once again, full credit to Poppin, because Poppin has been doing an excellent job so far. Once again, on that work ethic grind, making sure to try and figure and learn as much as possible from this tournament. The chamber pick, I'm a little bit hesitant about. I'm going to be so real with you, especially going up against Donut and Infiltrator, two players who, once again, do a fantastic job with those sniper rifles, but nevertheless,
to be someone who can flex as much as Alexis has been able to so far this tournament, but Poppin has been really starting to match it up. And with this chamber pick, I think it's leaning back into how NV FlyQuest were dominating the maps that they already were, especially Bind, controlling that space, but condensing it a little bit, just contracting a tiny bit, so you have less to manage all at the same time. And on something like Sunset, where you can portal into mid, you can, crunch on that B site, you can condense into the steps, you can really create a lot of tiny chokes to manage for yourself. And Poppin might have a lot of fun with that. That being said, like you said, the two big fraggers on the other side, Donut and Infiltrator, have been going absolutely insane these past 2 days, and they're not going to stop. They feel more enabled than ever in a setting like this.
Dropify, as we've been calling them so lovingly, moves as well. Kind of an X factor, especially when you talk about a map like Sunset. You expect that omen. Oh, the big spooky ghost man is going to be throwing the smokes down, teleporting all over the place. It's going to be great. But if you've paid attention to how Wintropify have been kind of playing things, moves on this Clove has kind of been frying people in the server.
Yeah.
Yesterday really just popped off on Pearl, but that kind of adds like that triple threat attack for the Winthrop Shopify. They're not afraid to kind of go exploring throughout the map off of the back of moves, Donut, and Infiltrator, just being able to kind of take all of this space. And while, yes, there are a lot of good arguments for the NV FlyQuest side, specifically looking at the IGLs, having a couple of different options available to you all the time, genuinely speaking, Winthrop Shopify looks scary when it comes to those three players really opening things up on the map. And then Governor, well, yesterday really just took control of the series.
Well, seeing that NV FlyQuest are going to be starting out on the attack, my eyes drift to Jazzy first when it comes to them trying to be able to match that bar for bar, blow for blow, after the ability that Winthropify demonstrated, yesterday. I think Jazzy across these games as this duelist, she's had to really find the pocket to become enabled. But once she's able to start gaining momentum, it's really difficult. And both Poppin and Thea have felt very comfortable letting her kind of take that initiative, get the leash off the neck, and just unfortunately is we're still trying to get everything together for this game. Obviously, a couple kicked PCs, but everyone in and out of studio, I'm excited to see it culminate.
Yeah, and we will be just going to a short break.
Players are ready, and I hope you guys are too. This best of 5 grand finals for Spotlight Americas is going to be a slam dunk. Let's get into it.
Oh, man.
Marks, I'm pumped. I mean, look, again, we spoke about the firepower of both these sides, but it's really, it can't be explained. It can only be shown.
Yeah, it really can. And once again, right off the bat, we're seeing the Jazzy versus Dodonut duel, and Dodonut just looking around the corner at the right time is able to find that kill very early on, while NVFQ take a lot of space in mid.
We'll see how much window shopping they're able to do. Governor just holding court from the back. And that is one way to get it started. Karn getting in on the action too, and it's a flawless round by just 2 members of Winthropify. What a start.
Dude, if you took a look at the stats from yesterday, between the 2 maps that we had Winthropify go up against 100 Thieves yesterday, like, Governor was killing it in the server. A total of 42 kills just across the 2 maps. And so, you know, Governor's been definitely feeling it a little bit more, and already starting things off on an exceptional pace, especially given the number of people that we saw from the NVFQ side coming through. Governor very much able to deal with all of those, find those 3 kills, make a statement, and now Winthrop Shopify, they've got more than enough in their satchels for round number 2. But unfortunately, looks like we're going to be going into a little bit of a tech pause.
These things happen. And, I mean, these players have been pretty used to having to kind of slow it down like this. But for Governor going straight from call maker to playmaker off the bat after such a quick activation, you saw Envy recognize, you know, the need to try to control the space after Jazzy had lost hers so quickly. Karn just sort of stepping out and denying that first walk-in. I'm wondering how long these teams are going to try and get away with stuff like that, and how often it's going to come down to the conditioning game, because we are seeing a lot of taking timings and 50-50 swings and just confidence peaking from these players. And a lot of that is thanks to the IGLing styles of all 3 of the IGLs on the lobby right now. I think Governor, Thea, and Poppin all have a lot of faith in all of their teammates, and they really just want to let them work, want to let them, you know, make their masterpieces. But there will someone like Governor, someone like Karn can kind of just post up and dominate.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those points that I was kind of trying to make it just at the start here before all these tech to what the individual players on each of the teams can kind of do, right? Like at the NVFQ side, you're talking about those swings, taking the timing, all of that type of stuff. We highlighted it very clearly on the Winthropify side of things, but on NVFQ, like, we've got Poppin, we've got Eggster, we've got Jazzy. All these 3 players as well are no strangers to trying to find and make those opportunities really happen for the team. And personally, that's why I think that this makes for such an interesting game, because you know that all these players are going to be trying to make those plays happen. And when those plays do happen, especially going up against a bit more of a snowbally team like Winthropify kind of are showcasing, especially with the Infiltrator showcase that we kind of saw yesterday as well, there's a lot of potential for different things to kind of come through. And actually, look at this, Poppin already out of his seat right now.
Poppin's on IT. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Is this even allowed? Can he do? Oh, I see your game's not on. Yeah, of course. But I think that's one of the luxuries that the offseason kind of provides, no? Is every excuse in the world to let everybody kind of have their moment, kind of get to clip farm a tiny bit. And I mean, this is a lobby just chock full of players that live to have those hero moments, that live to just create those highlights. I mean, thinking back to even just recently at GCC, yeah, I mean, Dodonut having arguably her breakout event, despite SRG not winning the whole thing, just proving that she can tangle with the absolute best of the community after people had been doubting, you know, that she would be able to fill those shoes for so long. On the other side of that, seeing Thea and Ev in particular on Fly Red this year in NA, while the team itself didn't get far, it was very clear that their game sense and understanding of how things flow, especially nowadays in North America, has come a long way. And being given players like Jazzy, Poppin, and Eggster to kind of test that aggression level of just saying, hey, we are better, we're going to continue being better, let's prove that. I feel like, if anything, they're even more in their element now.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, right? Like, one of the things kind of coming into this, Jazzy kind of stepping in onto FlyQuest, previously was on 100 Thieves Game Changers, and then kind of released from that roster, and now is kind of coming in here and really making a difference in the Spotlight series, and it kind of putting the spotlight in Spotlight series, if you ask me, because this is a good opportunity for a lot of players to kind of showcase what they're capable of in very unique and dynamic team environments. Because yeah, the Dust kind of commented on it as well. Like the NV pathos, the NV kind of thesis is so different from what FlyQuest's style is kind of like. And
Yeah.
it's adding in that little bit of element of chaos. Because once again, Exter, Pop It. It's just like, oh, we hear people, we're gonna run at them, and somehow we're gonna walk away with a couple of kills. And it has pushed FlyQuest to kind of play adaptive like that and kind of take those own timings on themselves, while also to just trying to manage and integrate in and kind of chill out Envy's team members a little bit, to kind of ground them a little bit more and play for a little bit more of those things. And once again, like, the biggest lesson that we got from a lot of these teams previously was that the players are learning off of each other. And I really feel like this is still the case in the Spotlight series this year too.
100%. Still a learning process. Still, everyone just gaining everything they can from everybody else. This is networking at the end of the day. I think that seeing everybody adapt to each other, in particular yesterday in the semifinals, was really exciting to watch. Because to your point on how FlyQuest and Envy are trying to sort of bolster that confidence, at the same time, they're also trying to level the singular channels that are getting hit with the 4-1s, 3-2s to make sure that you don't get disadvantaged so quickly in a puggy-ish setting like this. So I've loved seeing teams kind of gain and lose the discipline at a moment's notice for our entertainment's sake. For your entertainment's sake, I'm shutting up. We're going to go talk to Sierra, Ash, and Dryad. They got some games in the tank.
For the record, Henrik, we never want you to shut up, all right? But we'll let you rest your voice. There is a best of 5 grand final. All right. I speak for me and Ash. But we'll let you save y'all's voices for the best of 5. We'll let Poppin go on with his tech support. For us, we're going to play a couple of games here at the Analyst Couch while we're waiting for our grand finals to begin. So we have been crushing this Guess Who minigame all weekend.
Have we?
We can't stop winning.
We cannot stop winning. That is
insane.
right, Dan. That is right. So
Yes.
we're going to bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Hit me with this, Sierra.
All right. We got this. We got this. It's confidence. You got to, manifest
I'm
it,
confident.
right?
I won yesterday. I'm
That's
just
true.
saying.
She did. I'll give the
I
credit where
cooked.
credit's due. She did cook. Let's get the first question. Let's see if you're going to continue cooking today.
Okay.
Let's see. One of these players doesn't play Yoru.
Guys, I think it might be Exter.
You're so right.
This is a... I don't know, man.
Just no other comment. Yours.
You're so right.
Guys, I don't think she's cooking anymore. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna say Ev.
I feel like I've seen.
I feel like Coach Joe. I don't know. Just with the players, I feel like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm agreeing. I agree with you on this one. I don't think Joe doesn't give me Yoru energy.
Okay. I'm gonna say Ev.
Ev. Okay, so we got 2 for Coach Joe, 1 for Ev. Let's roll it. See who doesn't play Yoru.
Jazzy.
So,
Okay.
it was so weird because I
That
feel
was
like this
my
was a
other-
good fake out, but I don't know. I feel like I thought I'm confusing somebody. I thought I saw her play the Yoru before, so I just...
Yeah, I thought about it for a second because it makes sense because she plays like every other duelist.
Yes.
And it'd be a classic. Somebody else is playing the Yoru, so she. I mean, kind of how we've seen this weekend. But you still assume that she plays some Yoru here and there.
Yeah.
I would have thought at least once.
Because she's just a duelist killer, right? So it's like it's an automatic assumption. But it's okay.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
We're warming up.
I'm
We're
glad we
warming up.
won.
It was a warm up,
Next.
and they were they made that one difficult. They knew that we were gonna get confused on that.
Will Joe ever be one of the answers? Let's be honest, production.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We're here in production with a in our ear. Well, we'll see. Next question. See if we're all wrong to start things off. Ooh. Chad, is this allowed?
I think I'm gonna say Alexis.
I also thought Alexa's my first thought.
I don't think. No, Lexi's not like teabag
Did production just say
Or
there's
Jazzy?
more than one?
Yeah,
More than one answer?
maybe. Or maybe it's a
Wait.
trick.
I could
comment.
see like
Is this going to be more of a who isn't instead?
I don't know if Slandy gives me teabag energy either.
See,
Like,
I
I feel like you have like the body shooters and then you have the teabaggers, and I'm like trying to slot everybody into their respective categories in my brain right now. Lexi gives me more like body shooter instead of teabag energy. That's why I'm like anti-Lexi on this one.
I understand. Yeah.
You see the vision?
Yeah.
You get me.
I see the vision, but out of all of them, still, I think.
Yeah?
It's Alexis.
I would say Alexis and then Jazzy too. I think
I
it's
wanted
like
to say
never in a
Jazzy.
BM way. I think it's like a fun way
Yes.
with them. But those two are my answers here.
I want to say Jazzy, and for fun, I'm going to say Tree.
All right. So you're just saying anyone but Slandy.
I don't think Slandy is like not teabag energy to me.
All right. Let's see who it is out of these players. Dun dun dun.
All of them.
All
Okay.
of them.
That was a trick question.
That's evil, actually.
Yeah, because
Production, I quit.
This is
That's unfair.
they're just making sure like we cannot win on the last day.
Know that we've gotten every single one wrong, pretty much. And they're like, they're not going to guess this one. It's every single one of them.
That's crazy. No winners on the desk today, but we still have a winner
okay.
to crown.
quit.
Or don't quit. Our grand finals is
Fine.
about to begin. Our game is ready, Dan.
I'm hiding behind the box.
Dan's gone. We're going back to the game. Let's get back to the map, back to your casters. Let's get this rolling.
Well, we're not going anywhere. Right, Marks? We're going to stick it out
you know-
together, you and me.
Yeah. I'd dab you up if we were in the same room, but we aren't. So like, just
yeah, we
just
aren't.
imagine.
We aren't in the studio, are we? Such losers, right?
Dang.
Well, where we last left off our intrepid heroes, Karn was good for 2, opener and closer, and Governor held
Yep.
down the stack from CT, so not too much to write home about other than the fact that it was a flawless pistol round.
Yeah, and hey, you forgot the fact that Poppin did step up and become IT for a second. That was a new
He
role
did
for
do
me.
that.
We were discussing the Poppin flexibility and, add IT to the resume, perhaps,
He can do it all, truly. But can he hold his own on this chamber in comparison to Dodo Nut? That was one of the bigger things we were talking about. Poppin, very a la Kane, flexing super hard onto basically whatever linchpin the team needs when it comes to dealing damage. Moob's playing supporter for the chamber on the other side of Exter's entry, which is far but long-winded, and so the rest of NVFQ are a little slow to it, except for Jazzy, who can dash up and at least do a little more damage before the tail end of the fight is complete and 3 guns stay standing.
A nice and easy round there for Winthrop Shopify. You could see there was a moment where, the fast tempo that we see from NV FlyQuest kind of gets implemented there. Thankfully, Infiltrator just kind of sent it down onto this Neon this time around. And we know that Infiltrator are very good at just kind of being that solo duelist, not afraid to just run in there and take a lot of space. But actually, the hero of that round for me was definitely Dodo Nut, being able to surprisingly stay alive amidst a lot of pressure that the chamber was kind of facing. But stands tall, allows for the additional time to come in through there, and it's going to be a nice clean round. Of course now, NV FlyQuest have those rifles in hand, while Winthrop Shopify will be going for that bonus. Of note on that Defender kit, we do have moves with a shotgun, which I don't know is going to get too much value, but Poppin taking that first fight, but it's just going to back out of there nice and early on.
Both teams very aware of how badly Winthrop Shopify wants to get that first opportunity to cut deep on the eco. Almost gets away with it with Infiltrators walk up with the Prowler, but it takes a lot of resources, so the quick pivot over to B site can only be stopped by Dodo Nut. So far, so good for her. Exter able to cut in through the other end, and only a refrag from Alexis' side until Exter clears the entirety of the site. 3 now for that Yoru. He's been continuing to dominate on the field during those firefights, but now comes out of the tail end. How much more can Governor get away with before this bonus is complete?
Yeah, at this point, Governor really just being able to find 1 or 2 more kills, drop those rifles down, make sure that that economy is going to be back. We've also seen Governor do kind of crazy things in the 1vx situations here. Poppin, first one to spot him out.
Taking the distance just to make sure he can't find the easy angle, Governor. Just making sure. Double checking. First swing out, first TP, second opportunity. Ev's turn to try and fight it. NVFlyQuest will give it to him. And they'll lose it.
Okay.
Poppin will step in, take care of business, and get that first round on the board for NVFlyQuest. Well managed. Way to slow it down after the majority of that fighting was done by Egg. Now, coming into the follow-up, of course, ults are not necessarily on the board here for either side. I think Jazzy is trying to get close to that overdrive coming into round 4-5. But that seems like it's going to be your one in. Oh, Egg could also drift, maybe, if he goes crazy. But, yeah, Winthrop can rebuy. They can rebuild. And they have the Nightfall in 1. Infiltrator goes looking again, way more aggressive this time, and it's punished by Eggster in mid. Rest of the fight's gonna rage on here. It seems like both teams have a pretty silent mutual agreement on how to just create a no man's land at some point in the round.
And a lot of space being taken over. Eggster as well starting to heat up. And this is a player, obviously, if you saw the stat line earlier on, little concerned, but now it's already in that prime form. Condition there. Alexis, an excellent headshot.
That's such a great lineup. Instant reaction, no time to double check it. There's no easy way to swing this from this low ground, especially when you have 2 defenders standing on it. Yeah, Jazzy, I mean, a ponytail's revealed. And she's practically cooked. Easy defensive hold for the rest of this. Even the Nightfall's gonna get tossed in on the lone body. Jazzy is just too much of a threat. Alexis, good for 3 this round, as is Winthropify.
Yeah, they're all having their individual pop-off moments. Like, it's so early on in this series, but we're really seeing what all of these players are capable of. And on top of that too, obviously, yes, it did look flashy. You know, you're getting a couple of haircuts here, there, and wherever. But at the same time, if you took a look at the minimap, there was always support just in case something went wrong. I think that's really speaking to how comfortable right now Winthropify are playing off of one another. And it's really enabling quite a few of these spectacular kills. And now, NVFlyQuest, they're back onto a save yet again. No ultimates really available for them. Just one off of Eggster and Jazzy's ults here, which could open things up, but Donut already going forwards here. Might be able to find that timing while NVFlyQuest so deep on mid, wrapping around on the moves.
Yeah, this is a really solid go-to for the weaker guns, NVFlyQuest. They'll just make the space. That might be guaranteed. It's been given to them mid to Boba. And they found some opening frags. Alexis, though, can manage the spike, getting escorted by Ev solo from main. So it's a full flip now from Winthropify, who still hold on to the majority of the better guns. That being said, Jazzy will now have her own and grab that front line, grab that spike, rush on back with minimal HP after getting sprayed back. So it's a race on the site to make sure that NVFlyQuest can't get the opportunity. But Poppin taking care of Governor as that entrance comes through means that Infiltrator's alone, and Poppin with the off angle reduces it to just himself. And it's a 3K for NVFlyQuest's own Senti on the following round to bring the gap down to just 1 round.
Yeah, such a weird round to kind of take a look at there. Obviously, the rush through make sure that that spike gets completely cut off, given the fact that Alexis is able to find that kill, drop the spike. Immediately, this barrier orb gets placed in 2. It gets really weird in the server here, but ultimately the hero here was Poppin, just playing that off angle. And when I saw Infiltrator decide to move in there, it really felt like they were like, okay, we know that they're all going to be playing grouped up, which allowed for kind of that opening for Poppin to be able to step through and find those kills. 2 to force now online. Poppin already letting that one fly. Not the best buy in the world for Winthrop Shopify. On the other side, Infiltrator with a Bucky in hand, but a different pacing as NVFlyQuest slow down. They're going to play off the dimensional drift.
Wall up to try to intercept the drift, but Egg is past it, and Poppin is frying it, so NVFlyQuest undeterred. Poppin walks right into Lexi. She's able to take care of that before Egg can proc that drift. Again, it's missed timing for this crunch, but they're going to make it work. Jazzy with this overdrive. Eggster still just walking it down from the link. Infiltrator putting a stop with that shotgun. It's got to be the rest of the wave, and this time it's Ev to do a lot of the heavy lifting before finally the elbow is fully cleared with 2 members of NVFQ still standing. Dodo not able to grab back that rifle after having lost it for this wanted buy. 1 flash still in the hands of Eggster as well. Playing on the site, ready for that first step in. The nearly a contingency.
Last player standing.
And Dodo Nut able to deal with that. Now it's the spots the back. Karn's gonna have to hold for half here. She doesn't feel that much security, and Thea is going to pounce. So we're tied up at 3 after the approach was certainly solid enough. It feels like NVFlyQuest are just whatever worksing their way through a lot of these attacks.
Yeah, like that round really just showcased kind of like we're gonna make plays happen by taking our opportunities and try to force our way in. And you can see that really is a lot of how they want to be able to play this, but just off of the dimensional drift, Poppin just flying through as well. You can tell that the ideas here are really just like, get in there, try and find some sort of opportunity, try and find some sort of opening really, and then be able to punish the other team for it. So I'm imagining we're only going to continue to see even more flashy plays coming through as Infiltrator sliding in, but gets taken out. A good trade though from Lexus.
And just continuing to go for these drop-down first bloods, and so far, not really coming up with a whole lot. Now, yeah, Winthropify just gonna try and play with some simple cutoffs with these pistols. Unfortunately, not really landing enough. Moves his turn to see what he can get away with. That's the thing about these rounds. Anything could happen. And with moves on this Clove, seems like he's on his own little arc. Shock Dart to flush him away, though, and Ev's up to 3. They are feeling active today.
Spike planted.
In a 1v4 situation, feels like you're asking for way too much from this player.
Certainly, after the first jump as well, too much pressure. And so it'll be that reset as NVFlyQuest will gain the lead here on Sunset, starting to understand the rhythm of the attack that is starting to work out. And the answer to that is there kind of isn't one. They kind of just go, go, go.
They do kind of go, 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 but you can tell that there still are a little bit of layers as to how they actually are overwhelming this site. Obviously, that last round looked a lot easier just because of the weapon advantage that they were kind of running in there. It was a nice little trap play trying to be set up by Winthrop Shopify right off the rip here. But so far, NVFlyQuest, they've got their eyes set onto that A site. I was going to comment that it really felt like they were getting a lot of mid space for free, but right now it's just kind of snowballing onto A. We're seeing a little bit of change up back, leaning back into that mid presence to try and control the map a little bit more here. But an adaptation from Winthrop Shopify, they're playing a little bit more passively and want to make sure that they are denying that extra space, given the fact that NVFlyQuest have not already started rushing their way down on A.
Seems like by the nature of Sunset's openings, NVFlyQuest are more prepared than not to handle the first fight being facilitated by Winthropify. And of course, a lot of that is just Infiltrator's fault. Just he wants to get first blood so bad. But yeah, they're taking that kind of slow dance status until they spot one.
Whoa.
There's Poppin found. So now, yeah, you got to amp up the gas on your one lane of attack. And Jazzy, with this slide, is going to be able to open up that new space. Post not dead yet, and Jazzy deals with that too. Now there's even more. The double on top, though, and that'll be Jazzy felled. So now it's just that site presence on the post plant. Decent amount of time already burned. Ev with this Hunter's Fury as well. And they're going to pull it out now as the res on the moves goes for life number 3 on the Clove that is instantly silenced as well. Ult burn for ulti, but it's still Ev that has to clutch this up. The 2K up against Infiltrator. Still a lot of gas in the tank. Recon Dart going to confirm the 1, but Karn holding from afar to guarantee. And we are tied back up at 4.
Yeah, what a great round to kind of look at if you are kind of watching these trades go back and forth there. For a second, I thought maybe Ev was using the Hunter's Fury just a little bit too soon, but it actually is so smart because you have an idea at least where some of these players are. Given you don't know how they're going to be spreading out on the site as well, it guarantees just a bit of information. However, it just felt like the cards were stacked against them that time around. Too many players still alive, too many shenanigans flying through, especially with the Infiltrator Dodo Nut combination there. So an excellent job kind of coming through, and we're really starting to see Dodo Nut shine with the operator in hand. Specifically, you know, kind of coming through on this chamber, which you started to see Winthrop Shopify lean into a little bit more over the last couple of days. I really like this matchup because it's allowing just a bit more, I think in Dodo Nut's own words, you're basically playing duelist, but you have to play a little bit more conservatively just because you're...
that has made Dodo Nut feel a little more comfortable lately on the chamber. If anything, it's like she hasn't felt this pressure to have to sacrifice herself for something like information or positioning or spacing or clearing the board. She's just been in this mindset of, let me hold my space, let me do my thing, let me get my kills. And she's had so many streaks so far this tournament because of her just standing it down and waiting for the walk-ins. She has used minimal util, and she has also, like you said, been alone a lot of this time for 4-1s, for the mid chokes, for these early swings, these mega early swings that these teams are going for. Classic North America, vintage. But I mean, she's just been so confident the whole way through, and every bit of support that she would normally need, not necessary or really asked for with something like a chamber. So new environment for her after setting up so many frags. Bingo is Envy's name-o for the B stack here in round number 9. And Eggster once again with first blood after the first contact. Second blood after the second contact. He's just doing Yoru things.
Spike planted.
Spike will go down here. A 3v4 retake, but fortunately not a lot to work off of. Governor's used most of his utility already. It just goes in. Are you kidding me, Governor?
Yeah, it's all the setup Eggster anyway. He's on the off angle, and he's gonna crack a fourth with the right click. Goes for the ace, but at least Karn can shut that down. Never too big for one's britches are the members of NVFQ, and Eggster is still on one. Has been since he flew into Monterey. Wow, Karn's shipping that first shot. That's kind of crazy. That's also kind of crazy that she gets the one, but NV FlyQuest can hold it down, grab their 5th and the lead back.
Yeah, and it's so fun kind of like watching how these compositions kind of match up against each other, right? Like the difference of just kind of rushing through, forcing the issues. This has been very fast Valorant between these two teams, like not giving up a single moment's notice for either side. Yeah, that Governor kill was kind of insane. But
cool.
The synergy right now that I was really impressed by was the NV FlyQuest engagement there. Watching Jazzy's movements and immediately having the other members of NV FlyQuest walk in to make sure that they can kind of shut people down. It once again is looking pretty good. These players are talking and they're playing extremely well off of one another.
I like seeing Jazzy playing as committal as Infiltrator is, knowing that if he's going to go one direction, she has a lot more freedom going the other. And Eggster with these pinches, he feels so lit up with the help of this Neon. Still though, presence from Alexis in particular. Poppin's got to deal with that swiftly and close quarters. Moves on a peek with the Sheriff. Infiltrator on the way back with this rifle. They have the double up in time. Nice relay bolt on top of the spike. Infiltrator's in lightning fast, and he deals with both. So we're tied back up again at 5 now after another great retake. Infiltrator having one of his first real great Neon rounds so far this game.
Yeah, I mean, that time around, like, you know, the fact that Moobs is able to kind of walk away with a couple of kills there just off of that Sheriff shot, but then guarantee that there's enough time, enough to kind of make NV FlyQuest guess what it could be happening. And then suddenly, while you're trying to deal with Moobs just kind of hanging out in the back line there, you know that Sheriff is going to be coming inbound, and suddenly this Neon is just kind of flying all over you. Excellent play coming through from Infiltrator, and you know that he's always going to be good for it, especially when you need some of that flashy, quick play coming through from your duelist. So excellent round for him. Once again, Lace was the one who said that really have to be careful of watching this player heat up, because once Infiltrator gets going, he can be so deadly.
He's been looking for excuses. Gonna find another one on his own up B main. The one place where NV FlyQuest is not hitting. Proactive Nightfall coming out from Governor on the called up top mid, but NVFQ will just pivot back to A main. Use Thea's ulti just to gain some intel on how many people are posted up on the A site. That's not to figure out if they run away, it's to figure out how they take this fight that they know they were gonna take. Smoke set up on the back. The Dropify prepared for it. They're posted up on the site. Karn the first, Alexis the swing back, but Poppin clears them both. It's Governor from the Link on the off angle that has to take care of the still active front line, and even then, NVFQ are on site. Ev spike down, Poppin pokes out, Infiltrator once again, quick to it, and he might have to grab the other. Yes, indeed, after Ev manages the other swing. Never can be too dull a moment with them. Winthropify take back the lead themselves. It's 6-5.
Yeah, yesterday, Ev, Poppin, and Eggster were tied for the most number of kills in their series from NV FlyQuest. And, you know, you never really want to count them out just in some of these crazy moments here. But one of the players that I actually wanted to highlight that has been doing a very consistent job of kind of playing foil a little bit to the NV FlyQuest attack is Alexis, playing the Sage, setting up the barrier orbs, setting up the slow orbs. It's guaranteeing just enough time that really just slows them down for a second to allow the rest of Winthrop Shopify be able to set up their rotations around, get Infiltrator in on that backline, have the reinforcements start to move in. And given how fast NV FlyQuest like to hit these sites, and it's kind of like an all-for-nothing type of attack, the Sage utility has been doing wonders at making sure that Winthrop Shopify have a foot in the door.
Yeah, some really solid stall tactics to make sure that the rest of the defense can respond quickly and efficiently. Overdrive popped out by Jazzy as Karnal get resuscitated right as Infiltrator goes for his own frag onto Jazzy, who is still trying to feed on the scraps, but those scraps are active and now moving over to the B site. That will have NVFQ rotating over to Poppin, whipping out that TDF and just standing on business against Moobs, who is still, unfortunately, bot fragging pretty heavy so far this game. Still about sussing out the open territory. B site's a guarantee, not anymore. Fast lane's in, Infiltrator Overdrive active, disgusting first kill. Extra can't get finished, and Ev is in position to Hunter's Fury to distract, but even still, there's too much space for Infiltrator to act. And from there, it's all too easy for Winthropify, who will take a 7-5 half on the defense.
Yeah, great job coming in here. And Infiltrator is really getting online. Like, I know that we just highlighted Dodo not going to be that person to kind of play solo. But even when you look at how this team is moving together, they're like, okay, yeah, let's get this retake online. Oh, Infiltrator's already like 3 steps ahead. And then that introduces just a little bit of confusion, a little bit of questioning kind of going on there, allowing the rest of Winthropify to be able to move in and kind of clean house just in case Infiltrator goes down. So I love the synergy we're starting to see as it really feels like this team is in their form right now, Tenrek.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like they're understanding their individual roles and how they are able to coalesce in the, very tiny, minuscule moments in between those fights. But the fights will continue raging on. Envy switching sides. They'll try and hold it down on the defense and make this map competitive when we come back.
Has arrived. Running through, Jazzy able to find Donut here. All the attackers already swarming onto the site. Extra able to find moves in the chaos as Governor is taking inside of this smoke. Starts this way, will be in a world of hurt right now. Goes up against Extra, is able to find the kill, looking for the next. Thea going down as well. And in a very chaotic round, Dropify looking for it. Jazzy with the slide across makes it so doable. Governor looking the wrong way. Envy FlyQuest come alive, mitigate all of the chaos.
That should be enough. Yeah.
Just like that, we're going to make this a 6-9 scoreline. There's an excellent idea coming through from Winthropify that time around. Try and inject a little bit of that Envy FlyQuest pace into their own gameplay. And you see, it was fast movement just around that middle of the site in order to make sure that they can kind of crunch in and take over the A site properly. Governor almost making that one come alive. But once again, I'm going to keep on saying it here. It's a lot of those individualistic plays of these players on Envy FlyQuest, not afraid to step in there and try and find a kill. Infiltrator finds that first one out there. Extra going down. As Governor makes that one happen. Thea just missed a couple of those bullets, making sure that Infiltrator is alive. With Dropify already such a stark advantage here. Dodo Nut watching all the way down. It's able to make sure Jazzy can't inflict any further damage. Dropify got their grasp on this round and are looking to just secure it, while Envy FlyQuest at this point might be just looking to save. How fast this is kind of swung in their opponent's favor. Governor going to get the plant down now, make sure that the Nightfall is available for future rounds, but this time, it just came down to that initial pressure just outside of A, shutting down both the Egster and Poppin duo. To make it definitely possible for really Envy FlyQuest not to be able to find anything. And once again, if you looked at the positioning of moves put so far up in mid, just watching for that crossfire, making sure It was totally doable, just in case Envy decided to do anything else. But Moobs, at this point, we'll be just kind of hunting around, looking for potentially another kill here. Ev, though, is able to gonna be watching that one. So Winthropify will take the round, backing out here, playing nice and safe. Make sure to keep that big old sniper rifle alive into this next round, as we will be finding them now at double digits. Keep in mind as well, as we do go through this best of 5, this was NVFlyQuest's map pick of Sunset. And of course, with Winthropify, they decided to go on the defense. I really do think that this was trying to play off of their own individual styles, but more importantly, having a plan, especially understanding their opponents. This has kind of been the narrative thread that's been woven across this entire series, the understanding of their opponents. And it really feels like right now, Winthropify are just trying to maximize just how much they can kind of guess what's been going on. Governor has had a really good read of how these rounds have been going, but of course the individuals as well on Winthropify doing a fantastic job making this one come alive. Oh, if they adjust the timing here, but Extra a little bit aware. Infiltrator though is able to get some damage in. Alexis securing the kill. Now going to be running right into the back of this B site. Could be moving through. Boom, shuts down Ev as well. Jazzy all alone on an island. His Infiltrator not letting up for just a gosh darn second. It's going to be the spike going down here. NVFlyQuest never really had an opportunity to get back into this one, and popping as well. Pop the tour de force. Trying to make up for a bit of that less economy. Misses that initial shot here. And now the cavalry going to be flying through. Moves. Securing the kill on a Pop and Thea. Just trying to stay alive. Keep that rifle alive in the midst of all of this. Pops out. They will find two actually through that smoke there, but Governor ready for it. Running through, secures the kill. And Winthrop Shopify show zero chance right now of slowing down. It's been looking so good from their side. And honestly, they're making it look pretty flawless. One of the things, once again, Lace highlighted on the desk was being careful of making sure that Infiltrator gets shut down. And to be fair, NVFlyQuest did a really good job of making sure that Infiltrator was the leash was kind of kept on for a little bit. Except as the time has continued to play forwards here, the other members of Winthrop Shopify kind of stepping up to the plate, kind of making sure that these rounds can continue to go in their favor, allowing that time for Infiltrator to get comfortable, get ready, and mesh really well with the style. Talked about this before, but Winthrop University, especially with Infiltrator specifically, was just dialed a little bit more on just kind of send an Infiltrator in, let him do his thing, find a couple of multi-kills, and it would be flawless every single time. But as other teams started to counter that, they had to lean off of that style a little more. This time around, it really feels like they can allow Infiltrator to kind of go and do those kind of flashy plays, go in there and just kind of make all of this disruptive noise, because the backline for Winthrop Shopify has been there, has been stable, has been ready to back up that Neon to be able to make sure that this one happens. And so, Winthrop Shopify now, 11-6 here. It's going to be a bargain bin buy come through from NVFlyQuest. As Winthrop Shopify also have a lot of ultimates ready to be able to be used into this round.
Dominoes are set. Should just come down to the stack peeking. Eggs are goaded away by the proactive slow orb now. Alexis just trying to turn what worked on the other side on its head. And once that window's gone, you got to guard for it. Governor good for his. Dodo Nut holding it down on mid as well, distracting 3, now 2, now 1. Poppin' on that swing itself, gets the one with the shotgun, but it's still just the close quarters fighting that is all that can matter to this defense. Just not enough to hold it down, not enough reasons for Ev to throw out that Hunter's Fury in the midst of this either, especially now that that res is active.
This gets so much more difficult here. Dodo Nut able to escape with that in the midst of all of this, but at this point, you just kind of hold on to things, try and look for a bit more value. Governor, though, shutting down Thea. And looking into this next one, Winthrop Shopify, going to be up to 12. Just need one more round to kind of shut this one down. But at least they will have Ev's Hunter's Fury coming into this next one to maybe find a couple of spaces, maybe find a bit of denial here. But I need to see it be comboed with some of the Fast and Furious gameplay that we know those NV FlyQuest players can kind of initiate and really capitalize off of some of the space or information in the Hunter's Fury can gain.
Yeah, I appreciate the goal to be able to hold on to as much as you can so you can try and go for this long haul comeback. Playing for 12 in an off-season tournament can hurt a little bit sometimes, for sure, when it's when you're trying to make it feel puggy. But that just means, hey, we're not stopping at 13, right? We're stopping at 24. There's that Hunter's Fury. Ev a ways away, just keyed into Alexis and trying to track it down. They do get that last tap, actually. Flailing towards that Sage. So a 3v2 to start things out after Infiltrator trying to provide the cover fire will get stopped in this elbow jack that is still getting held doubly. Governor, let's find Jazzy before falling. That's impressive. Oh, but look how far Extra's gotten and the smoke dissipating. Yeah, give it all to moves. No reason to use that ulti this round. Too much in your way. Karn with this up. Yeah, what do you do here, huh?
Ace.
Yeah. That's what you do, actually.
To be expected.
You just come around a corner, have that headhunter in hand, and, well, hunt that head. An excellent round coming through from NV FlyQuest, and once again, that is what I needed to see coming through there, and I think that Jazzy did a really good job to kind of play off supporting that Hunter's Fury. The Hunter's Fury is able to find that value that time around, but have Jazzy play that kind of Vanguard. Make sure that no shenanigans can kind of happen here. And then the round was pretty much over before it started. With Dropify not even able to really get themselves set up and ready to go before NV FlyQuest to kind of close the door on them. Moving to this next one, Jazzy has the overdrive in hand. It's going to be aggressive as ever onto mid for Winthropify. But a lot of reinforcements from NV FlyQuest trying to understand that this might be exactly where they try and hit.
Maybe 2 more rounds after this where Winthropify can play with everything they want to. So you're seeing if maybe they'll understand the button is non-existent earlier on in these rounds so they can guarantee that 13th. Hey, there's one though. Poppin' caught on the walk-in for moves, and everybody's gonna fly in there. Market is owned. Infiltrator is active and following the slide. Jazzy! Little too late to the punch. It was close though. Golly. Infiltrator continuing!
Okay.
That's a way to finish the round! In microseconds! A 4K for that Neon, who just continued to level up from the very beginning of this game, and no doubt for the rest of the match.
Yeah, and like, you know, Infiltrator just sends it down. Is able to just win out everything. I was just going to comment on how amazing that tracking was. But one of the things I'm noticing right now is, especially at the end there, Infiltrator supported by moves, supported by the rest of the team, kind of walking in to make sure that it